this video, we will talk about the institutions that buy Bitmine, why they buy it, and maybe it has something to do with something totally different that you are expecting. Also, BlackRock is on the top list of buying Bitmine. All about this and more here in this video.
Welcome to the game, I'm the wolf of Dubai.
Welcome to a brand new video. As you know, I'm buying between $3,000 to $20,000 every single day in Bitmine. Okay, my conviction is high. There's no other YouTuber or influencer out there doing the same, putting the money where his mouth is. And also, I did this for many other stocks in the past. For example, Tesla, right? I bought Tesla when it was a $20 company. And you can imagine that we look for this kind of companies, you know, that can go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x from where they are now. So check it out and let me know if you are part of the Wolf Gang. Okay, subscribe everywhere, you know, on both my channels and also on X. And I also never advertise any other product except my own, because I think my own is the absolute the best. Okay, it's x10daytrading.com, where we trade for you, professional day traders. We send you the signals to your broker, all automatically buying and selling. You just have to switch on the software that looks like that, and we want to average about like 8 to 15% per month. Okay, so and if that will happen on your $10,000, then you can expect somewhere around like $58,000, as you can see here in this table, compounded over the first 12 months. And also, we have a fantastic, perfect week so far. This week, we made 3 out of 3 trades, as you can see here. You know, we gained the portfolios by around like 4%, which means that if we then calculate, we do this every other week, then there's like your 15% per month, and that is compounded a very, very big number. So check out and schedule a call with me if you are having $10,000 or more and want to get in before we raise our joining fee again. Okay, so with that said, let's dive into what happened with institutions. Okay, you can't just ignore it. You open X and your feed of Bitmine is just exploding with breaking news after breaking news. Big names are essentially coming out there every single day and say like, okay, this institution bought so many millions of dollars. This institution bought so many millions of dollars. Okay, so as you can see here, those are now the biggest institutions. We have ARK, we have Mitsu, we have BlackRock, brand new to the list. We have Vanguard, we have GOD Capital, we have GP Morgan, we have Bit Capital from Germany, we have Charles Schwab, we have YieldMax. Also, I forgot that one, ETF, right? So you can see they are buying a lot of shares. ARK, Katie Wood is the number one here. Okay, so I posted this one yesterday, which was quite good, you know, 14,000 impressions. If you don't follow FunStrat, so Tom Lee, into Bitmine, and you don't follow Peter Thiel, and you don't follow Katie Wood, and you don't follow Bill Murray III, and you don't follow Stan Druckenmiller, and you don't follow GP Morgan, and you might follow BlackRock now into Bitmine. This ain't name dropping. This is convict. Okay, and I want to talk with you about why this happened. Okay, so you can see here that many people are saying, okay, you know, we are looking for more and more institutions. That's like, you know, kind of, this is quite funny. Okay, this is how investors buying Bitmine. Okay, so you can see here that there's a lot of anticipation and happiness that institutions are buying, but why they actually buying? Okay, so there's 2 options, or actually maybe 3 options. Okay, the number 1 option is that they really like Bitmine and they buy a position. Okay, for example, Bit Capital would be something like that. Okay, they would go out and say like, hey, you know, we purchasing 2 million Bitmine shares. Okay, and they dropping like hundreds of millions of dollars for that purchase. Okay, they just like the stock, they like Tom Lee, they like the outlook, they like everything. That's number 1. The second part is, for example, that's one of the main reasons that Katie Wood from ARK Invest said they want to invest into Bitmine, is that with that investment in Bitmine, they can actually hold Ethereum in a way that it's appreciating, right? You have more and more Ethereum per share. At some point, you have that actively manage, you have the staking. So all of that you cannot really do with normal buying Ethereum or ETF buying Ethereum with the staking and an active increasing Ethereum over time per share, right? So that's something that is actually anti-dilutive, if you want to say, right? So even the stock in the company is dilutive, you have the anti-dilution because you buy more Ethereum that you actually have back Ethereum per share, right? So if you have like 1-to-1 Ethereum back to one share and you go out and sell one share, then you actually, can buy one Ethereum. But as you know, the MNAV, the premium on the shares, is at 1.2. So you get 20% more money for your shares that you have actually Ethereum backing the shares. So that gives you a 20% more buying power to buy Ethereum, okay, which is insane, okay? And this MNAV can go higher and higher. As you know from this chart here, at MicroStrategy had even an MNAV of 4. I always show this chart at the presentation when we have the new holdings. So you can see here that this is quite interesting to follow, okay? And the third part is, and this is, I don't know how that regulatory filling would come around and how this really would come together, but as you know, Bitmine is selling their shares to institutions. So the question is if the announcement by the institutions are maybe the purchases of the last couple of weeks and months, okay? So every time Bitmine sold the shares to institutions, they hold it, and now we just know which institutions to buy. That could be reason number 3, that this is not like, a conviction play. This is not one purchase, but this is like a purchase over many more weeks, okay? And I don't know how it really goes, like, and this would be lovely to go out there and see behind the scenes and say, okay, how this really works, fun strat, right? So Tom Lee, how this really works? Does it work like that we have, let's say Tom Lee goes out there and say like, hey, JP Morgan, we want to sell you now 2 million shares. Would you be able to take it at this price? They say yes or no, right? Or they just like have like a kind of, I don't want to say like group, but kind of like a channel to like just sell like, okay, with this channel, every day we sell 50,000 shares to you, JP Morgan, 50,000 shares to BlackRock, 50,000 shares to, let's say, Bit Capital, right? This is the other question. If this is like a channel, like more organized, or does they have to go step by step by institution to institution to go and sell the shares? That would be super interesting because, as we know, if they would start to buy those Ethereum at exchanges, then absolutely Ethereum would go nuts, okay, which they don't want to have now, okay? So this is an opportunity that still comes up. So I think that this is all the details that you need for the institutional buying. Let me in the comments know what you think, which is your favorite institutions owning now Bitmine and why, and what is your goal with Bitmine over the next couple of weeks. I really appreciated you watching this video. Subscribe to all my channels and remember to check out xnDayTrading.com before we're raising our joining fee to trade for you, all automatically done. And I see you tomorrow for a brand new video because the grass is greener always on the other side.